we're looking. Spreaker's looking good.
Spreaker's already been.
All right, Spreaker, what's up, fellas?
2-1, and we're live on Facebook.
There we go. Memories here, huh? It's the only way to do it. Yeah, y'all, we at it, man. It's follow-up to a tragic day, man, a sad day. We are the Saints and Sinners podcast. Obviously, we got a lot to talk about. What happened over the weekend, one of the worst days, in sports history. Just an American icon taken from us, man. Before we go further, man, I know you want to give out a date, man.
January 27th, 2020.
There you go, man. The date has been laid down. Yeah, I mean, we're sitting here around noontime yesterday, man. You think about things. We put this in our article, man. You think about events where you were 9/11. I know exactly where I was. I was in college. I was in English class in college. September 11th. Knew exactly where I was. I know what I ate right before my kids were born. You know what I'm saying? Everybody does this. You know what I'm saying? We all kind of, cross-reference that somehow to different things and where we were at those moments. I mean, and like I said, I'll remember that. I'm at my wife's grandparents' house. See it on there, man. I see you guys in a group text, and I say, man, hopefully this is just some idiot. These morons do this shit online, which is, like, to me, the worst thing possible. I mean, they put celebrity deaths on there.
And that's why people, don't believe something because it's hard to process as it is.
It's like a boy who cried wolf type, mindset. We don't know what's real, and TMZ, the first to report it, they seem to report everything first nowadays. But, Kobe Bryant, 41 years old, man, taken from us far too soon. His daughter, Gianna, 13-year-old, man. I just remember looking at Twitter a couple weeks ago and saying, man, you know what? I'm not a Lakers fan, dude. I hated the Lakers. I do. I still hate the Lakers, man. But that's a guy that I respected as much as anybody that ever played in any sport whatsoever. I mean, that guy was an assassin, man. He was the freaking Mamba, dude, the Black Mamba. And I mean, I'm watching him and his daughter, man. It's one of the coolest things I've ever seen recently, man. Seeing them courtside analyzing the game, him teaching her moments about the game, man. She looked like a heck of a player, man, on the video I saw, man. And and there's 7 others that died in this situation, man. And I think you have the names pulled up on there?
Yeah.
Yeah, man, we're going to go through some names, man, because, I've listened to a lot of shows today, man, and I haven't heard one that's addressed the names of all the other people. We obviously know Kobe and Gianna, but, I mean, if you got them, brother, let's get them on.
Baseball legend. I'm sorry, just stay with me.
No, go for it, man. That's all
John
good.
Altobelli, his wife Carrie and his daughter Alyssa. Kobe, and his daughter Gianna. Christina Mauser, basketball coach. Era Zabian was the pilot. And Sarah and Peyton Chester, I believe they went to. A lot of these people were
in the team with his
team,
daughter, huh? Yeah.
Little girls that played with
13-year-old girls on a travel basketball team.
A well-known coach in the area, John Altobelli, that I keep hearing, a lot of
I mean, that name, man,
coach,
absolutely, man.
Very well-known in the area.
Absolutely. I mean, this is, it was unfortunate, man. I mean, we saw, I know, our good friend Pat Riley, man. Pat's a great basketball guy as well, and Pat made a good point. It was a little disrespectful early on, and I don't want to criticize people, man. This ain't a moment to do all that, but, we got to get all this news right, man. Everybody wants to be the first to bring something to you. It's like if you're not the first, you're last. It's like this silly Ricky Bobby syndrome, you know what I'm saying? And we saw all these inaccurate reports. I mean, they had just so many inaccurate reports early on. I don't want to get into them because I don't think it's respectful at all to get into them. But, as news outlets, man, ESPN, all these places, man, CBS, everybody, get your shit together before you go on there. I mean, there's tons of producers behind this stuff. It ain't just the guy that's announcing. I know as fans, we hear the last voice behind it, and we think, oh, it's the announcer making that mistake, or, oh, why that reporter asked that, or whatever. There's a production team behind that. You know what I mean? And so they got to be better in situations like this going forward, man, because the information was just so, all over the place early on. And I know we were all rattled by it, man, but I just want to see as news organizations, man, just get the facts right, man. You know what I'm saying? That's all I want to see, man. And I'm not mad at anybody, but let's just, let's get back to reporting, the news as is, man. Let's not have an agenda or a story behind it.
I've heard other people say this, but it's so true. Just I didn't grow up with him, obviously, but he's the same age as I am.
Yeah.
Came into the league 18, right when I was 18, probably our sports enthusiasm as a prime, when we have a lot of free time and we, try to watch every game and you don't have kids and you're able to do that and you follow them for, 20 years. You spend more time watching Kobe than you spend with family, friends, with spouses sometimes.
Dude, Harry Carey for me with the Cubs, man. He passed away many years back. I mean, I was like, it's funny, dude. I didn't have a grandpa really in my life, for a long period of my life, ever since I was a young kid. And it's funny, like Harry Carey, and I've heard other Cubs fans joke around like he's their grandpa, man. Like he's the guy drinking beers. You come home from school and you watch him, you listen to Harry give life lessons, man. I've heard people say that about Vin Scully with the Dodgers. The announcers. I mean, it sounds silly to the average person, but when you're that deep into it, man,
it's like their personal friend. Like you know them better than you know other people because you know how they react in the highest of pressure situations.
Absolutely,
making history at the same time. Honestly, when I heard I was in my office, kind of slow, taking a break. I think I was eating something, and you see it on a group text, and you're like, "This."
This is
I don't even think
you don't
I
even
really
acknowledge
saw
it. Right?
I saw like a "Oh no, Kobe" or something like that.
Yeah, and
that's like something you just never want to hear. Like, for anybody, any person that you care about.
Yeah. Our good friend Chantel, Sports and Skirts. When she put that on there, I was like, okay, this might be real. She knows her information. You know what I mean? And that's when it hit real. You know what I mean? It's like,
man, I cried pretty much all day yesterday. I'm still fucked up about it.
Nah, I don't blame you, man. Look, dude. I mean, I'll say this, man. This is, like I said, they made it a point. I mean, everybody covered this with the Grammys. Everybody, we saw the games. And real quickly, man, I want to say, I don't want to spend much time on it, but, we're Saints and Sinners. We are out of the 504. Every NBA team I thought did a great job of honoring Kobe. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. There's going to be so many things that Adam Silver's an outstanding commissioner. He's going to do things the right way to honor this great player.
How could you not feel watching those players cry? I mean,
no, man, it was
this generation. They're all Kobe fans.
They were. That was their Michael Jordan. That was their Michael Jordan.
I mean, every time they talk about their craft, they slip Kobe. In
we're getting old, dude. I mean, I was in high school when Jordan was winning championships. These guys are 19. Like Zion. Zion's 19 years old. What is Zion? I mean, besides watching tape on Michael Jordan, he wasn't around when Michael Jordan was playing for the Bulls. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, that's what I'm saying. There's a lot of guys like that. So Kobe was their guy. And I'll say this, man. It was hard watching the players. It just felt it was a weird vibe, man. You could see it on TV, the Smoothie King Center. Obviously, a lot of fans were wearing. There was a lot of fans paying homage to Kobe.
Said it was basically like a funeral. Like
it was kind of weird, man.
So much energy coming up into that day, and it was just. I mean, the dead air in the crowd.
I really applaud. I really applaud
people. Just having catharsis through this medium that so many of us enjoy.
I mean, I applaud a lot of the players who, like, we talk about the Lakers, the guys who were with the Lakers before, like Lonzo Ball, Brandon Ingram, Josh Hart. Like you said, they didn't play with Kobe, but they were around Kobe a ton. I mean, Kobe was Mr. Laker. And, I mean, for those guys to go out there, and I'll say this, man, for them to go out there, I know it's a game, but to show the heart that they did and to play as hard as what they did, I really got to give kudos to those guys for doing that. Because that's like losing a brother for these guys to an extent, man, or a relative, a friend of the family, something like that. And they went out there and they busted their ass, man. And the Pels won the game, 123-108. Zion had his highest minute output. He finished the game. He had 21 points, I believe, and 11 rebounds. It was a terrific defensive effort. I just love the way they played. They played a heck of a game. But there were several other games that was going on. And I got to give respect to all these teams, man, for doing what they did yesterday. I mean, it wasn't easy, man. I mean, there was talks about the games being canceled, but the show went on. And I mean, but I'll say this. Adam Silver, I mean, like I say a million times, man, I'm not on here to be aggressive towards anything, but Roger Goodell sucks. Let's be real. Adam Silver he's the epitome of a great commissioner to me. I think the way he handles these situations is just a million times better than what Roger Goodell would ever have. You know what I mean? I'm sorry. I mean, the NBA is going to do so much with this Kobe thing.
A lot of people, wanted the games to end. And it's just a logistics nightmare to
It is.
To stop the gears on
it's hard, man.
On something, just that quickly.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of money involved.
Absolutely.
I mean, you got to appreciate a lot of people have, they plan on going to these games.
You could have a kid and a parent that, this is a planned trip to go see Zion for the first time.
This might be a kid's first game he's ever gone to, And it sucks, It
does.
really sucks.
It does.
I mean,
it sucks all around. I mean, it's like, but I understand going through the games. I do understand that.
It's just hard, it's hard. I mean, you never really know what to do in this
No,
situation.
you don't, man. The one time I remember seeing a game canceled right beforehand, the Cardinals, the pitcher, Darryl Kyle, had a great curveball pitch with the Astros and the Rockies. He died hours before the Cubs and Cardinals played one day. And I remember Joe Girardi was catching with the Cubs at the time, and he came out to the crowd on a microphone and explained to everybody that the game was canceled. And the Cubs and Cardinals, that's rivalry amongst the fans, but everybody understood, it was bigger than the game, obviously. And that's the one time I've seen a game canceled like that right away. And everybody understood it was just nothing you could do about it. They had to do that. This one was a little tougher, man, and I think whatever they chose to do, I think the fans should have embraced it. They decided to play. I know I saw Jay Williams on ESPN. He was a little bit against it, and I respect that, man, because everybody, there's no right or wrong here. You know what I mean? I like the way they did everything, though, man. I think the 24-second violation, the 8-second violation, I thought that was pretty cool. And like I said, I mean, the announcers did as good of a job as they could, man. I mean, I think everybody did. I mean, you saw a lot of emotional people on the panels yesterday, man, all over the place.
And it's surprising that you think these teams that play each other hate each other in this series, going for titles.
Yeah.
And it was something else to see some of his biggest rivals come out and say no, that Paul Pierce, Doc Rivers, just to see guy after guy, Greg Popovich, Coach Pop's crying on the sideline, Tim Duncan.
Yeah, I mean, I'll say this, man, it's a close league. There's a lot of people that don't understand the NBA for whatever reason. They choose not to. You know what I'm saying? I love the game. I love all three sports equally. I love baseball. I love football. I love basketball equally. But I'll tell you, it's a close-knit community, man. You've seen it when Popovich lost his wife, when Monty Williams lost his wife. Mm-hmm. With Kobe now, how close they come together. I mean, I hate to say it. I know we all love football. We all love the Saints. But NFL has got some growing up to do with this. The NBA, to me, is a close brotherhood, and they handle things the right way. And I guess it all comes down to leadership. Back to the Silver thing. It all comes down to having when you have better management at the top, it seems like everything falls into place. When you have an asshole like Roger Goodell running the show, things are out of whack. These situations aren't handled properly. We seem to just kind of forget about bad situations like that. With NBA, they make it a point to pay respects to these guys in these situations, man. I mean, I just think it's a total game changer when something like that's in place. But I mean, Kobe, we go back to his career. I was a Bulls fan as a kid. I had WGN. I grew up on that. I remember seeing Kobe. He was a little bit older, 1 year older than me. And I remember, he had the small little kind of fro thing going on. He came at the Lakers were kind of in a bad place when he came there.
I don't know, but he had a spark even at 18. Like, he didn't really know what he was supposed to be doing.
Right.
He was playing against adults, like grown-ass men that, don't take kindly to 18-year-olds.
And that was a different era to NBA.
He was one of the first guys to come out straight out of high school.
Right, absolutely.
Talk about coming straight out of high school. Imagine where you were at.
In high school,
were you
at 18 years old,
Were you ready to play a physical game against grown men that's been playing in the league for 5, 10, 15 years?
And that's a different NBA. That was a much more physical brand of basketball. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, those guys were not – you had to earn your stripes.
There was some hype-hitting motherfuckers.
That's what I'm saying. You just don't go running a lane on Anthony Mason and Charles Oakley or Dennis Rodman or whoever.
You're talking about guys that's been in an NBA training program for 10 years, going up against a guy that just come out of high school. And to still have so many moments,
Absolutely.
He showed you right away he was going to be one of the better players in this league. And not only did he show it early, but he kept working at it.
Yeah, the All-Star game. I remember the All-Star game with Jordan. It was kind of a cool moment. Go back and watch the footage from that. It was kind of like